Good morning to you. Today we catch up with one of the true superstars of the music world, Billy Joel, who over the past 21 years has sold in excess of 51 million albums, 3.5 million of them right here in Australia. Billy has set new records and broken old ones. The Russian tour, the Grammys, the duet shows with Elton John, the Yankee Stadium concert. It's a story of rare talent shining through and winning the day. Billy Joel is, of course, here in Australia on what he says will be the final world tour of his career, and he's our special guest this morning. You write the songs, you record them, you release the album, then you go on tour. It all kind of works pretty well, but do you ever want to break the mold?
Yeah, well, I've mentioned a few times that this is the last time I'm actually going to do a long tour like this. And I want to break up that treadmill of write, record, tour, you know. It's time for me to have a personal life, too. And it's hard to do everything. So this is the last time I'm going to do a tour like this. Doesn't mean it's the last time I'm going to play Australia. It doesn't mean it's the last time I'm ever going to do any kind of a tour or the last time I'll play concerts at all. But I'm not going to do it like this. I got to break it up somehow now. It's been a hard day's night, and I've been working like a dog. It's been a hard day's night. I should be sleeping like a dog. The talent part of it doesn't impress me because talent is something you're born with, you have it, okay, but if you don't work at it, it doesn't mean anything. And I think I have a theory. The reason I've been successful, I haven't been able to answer that question for a long time because I really didn't know, and I didn't want to know. I didn't want to analyze it because I thought if I analyzed it scientifically and I figured out what it was, then I would be tempted to repeat myself, and then I would become a parody of myself, and that's not what I want to do. I want to keep progressing. And I realized I'm competent at what I do. I know how to write music. I know how to write lyrics. I know how to perform on a stage. I know how to play the piano. But I'm just, to me, merely competent. Now, that's not false humility. My heroes are Beethoven and Mozart. So compared to them, I'm barely competent. But I also feel that I'm doing what I do in an age of incompetence. And that makes me appear extraordinary. So that's my theory.
There's a lot of pretenders out there.
I think there's a lot of people who really don't know what they're supposed to do. When I was a kid, if somebody came over and fixed the plumbing or did some carpentry work, it was done, it was fixed. Nowadays, you get people coming over the house to fix things. They don't know what they're doing. They've got to come back 2 or 3 times, and they keep double charging you, triple charging you. And people used to take a lot more pride in what they do. I think there was more craftsmanship and more quality in it. I believe that.
Those who saw the concerts you did with Elton John say they were just the best shows ever. A lot of fun for you?
They were fun shows. But we worked out a couple of songs together. He's a quick study. He's a real professional. He really is, and he's a great piano player. He's also a nice man, too. He turned out to be a very good friend at a time when I was having kind of a tough time in my life. He was very kind to me. And I knew his stuff, he knew my stuff, and we decided, well, it would be natural to play together rather than just doing 2 separate sets. So the show starts out with us playing together, then he does his show, then we took a break, then I do my show, and in the middle of his show I would come out, and in the middle of my show he would come out, and then we end together just jamming out. And we would do this jam, and one of the jams was Benny and the Jets, where we have these 2-chord vamps. Dun, 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 and while I'm playing that, he's going, and then he plays, and I'm going, and I'm trying to keep up with him, and he's good. He's a lot better than I thought he was. And, you know, also from the things you read and you hear about him, and there's all these rumors and there's all this gossip that he's supposed to be very temperamental, and we thought he'd be throwing sissy fits every half an hour, and he didn't. He was ultra-professional. He was always on time. He always did what he said he was going to do. He never threw any kind of temper tantrums. As a matter of fact, the one gig we had to cancel was because of me, because I got sick. So he was the real pro.
This hasn't been the easiest year of your life. Things are going to be different at home at the end of the tour than they were at the start of the tour. Does it make it easier for you when you're on the road with friends and colleagues?
Well, I'm glad I had to work. I mean, the lawyers had to get paid, didn't they? It's been a good tour. It's funny how life works out when You know, things are going great in your personal life. Sometimes your professional life isn't always doing that well, and then sometimes your professional life is skyrocketing and your personal life is going to hell in a handcart. It seems to be the way it works. It's very, very difficult to balance them both. And it was always important to me to be a family man. I didn't have much of a family when I was growing up. My dad left when I was young, and I'm still very much my daughter's father. And that will always be. That will never change, ever. So even when I go home, and I'm not, you know, in the same family situation that I was, I will be seeing a lot of my daughter. And I'm going to have a personal life. I have to have a personal life to write about anyway. I mean, as an artist, I think the more of a human being you are, the better an artist it makes you. If all you do is concentrate on your professional life and the technical aspects of things, I think you lose touch with your own humanity.
Billy, thanks for the chat. Congratulations on everything, and enjoy the rest of your stay in Australia.
Thanks, Richard.
Billy Joel starts his Sydney season at the Entertainment Centre tonight. 5 shows in Sydney. Still a few tickets floating around if you get in nice and quickly. Adelaide and Perth still to go.
Thank you, Richard. News